G'day guys and welcome back to the channel, and today we'll be reviewing Geelong and Richmond MCG Saturday afternoon twilight, and the Cats get the job done by 3 points. Woo! Super stoked with the win. It was absolute classic, crazy clash. Went to the game, so went up the highway, and it could have been a very treacherous drive back, but we were able to sort of sneak home with the chocolates in a crazy, again, another 8-point game we just simply had to win. And definitely did it the hard way. We clearly got off to a pretty solid start throughout the game, and we got it to a 35-point lead. And to be completely honest, I mean, the Tigers were always going to have their turn of momentum and come back, and which they did. Definitely got really tough, and to our credit, we were able to respond and hit back a second time. When you play a game of footy, you have to win it a few times usually, especially when you're playing the really good sides. And we were able to sneak over the line on this occasion. So really impressed with, obviously, the pressure we applied throughout the game. Our forward half turnover was a real positive shining light. I felt like there was a couple of really good turnovers we created in our forward half, and they ended up in goals. You saw Myers tackle Vlossen, which ended up in a goal, and it definitely a few times where we would pressurise Richmond, and then got the ball back, and were able to sort of get goals out of it, and those goals are golden, and they're the easiest. Well, not the easiest, but those are where you can get some good scores if you do have that pressure in your front half. So that's why it's critical to have that pressure all over the ground, and especially if you can do it in your forward 50, it's much easier to score from there than D50 or midfield. So I mentioned it about 3 or 4 times in the night, just saying, another forward half turnover goal. So that was really pleasing. But at the source, we were super solid, especially early. Obviously, the Tigers, ironically, without their man Prestia throughout the game, they definitely started getting a lot more field position and getting that territory battle, winning it at the source. But I was really pleased with how dominant we were out of the middle at times. I don't think we got full bang for buck with the play we had. I reckon we probably could have been up by 7-8 goals, but I'll definitely take 35. Sometimes you can have all the play and then not get on the board, and then the opposition gets a few looks and looks so easy. But we definitely made some mistakes and turnovers when the pressure really lifted. I think that happens with any team that when the Tigers get their pressure game going. Not many teams really don't have a lot of answers to it. The only way all you can really do is absorb it and try and mitigate that scoreboard pressure that they put on, and just hold on. But then give them the taste of their own medicine. That's really all you can do. Is, instead of being hunted, you got to change the mindset into hunting them. We definitely had some costly turnovers, which obviously led them back in. Cole Jasny, I reckon, gave away 3 or 4 goals at least. So, he's definitely a troublesome cat that loves to kick in the corridor and turn it over, and then it ends up in a goal every time. So, he should just never ever kick in the corridor. He should just give it to someone else. But the Tigers were able to sort of, when they did get the half back, they were able to move it from that top of D50 to forward line pretty easily at times, with just purely on their speed and the game style they like to play. They're pretty chaotic sort of game style. So we definitely, the chips were down, and we were able to find our way back, especially 3 goals down the last quarter. I thought we were almost gone. I thought they were able to really stop our ball movement and the way we wanted to move it forward. It was a bit long down the line, and you kind of go, where's the next goal coming from? Can't even get into our 50. And then all of a sudden, you're 3 goals down, then you have to play risky footy. And it's funny how if you played like that in the first place, would you even be behind at all? So, it was just playing that methodical, somewhat risky riskier game style, going through the corridor, putting speed on the ball. What got us some really good results in those last few minutes, and just winning key contests as well. So just sometimes just footy's just about beating your opponent. There's not much one-on-one footy these days, but our ability to win those key contests late and just some individual brilliance. We saw Henry obviously take that mark at the end, to get us over the line. But it was definitely one of those games where I thought, in the next couple of minutes, I'm going to be absolutely ecstatic, or I'm going to be absolutely shattered. And thankfully, this time around, get to go home all happy as Larry. So, it was a pleasing win. Puts Geelong into second, which is just mind-boggling, really. I don't feel like we're the second best team in the comp. We're probably not, but we're making all the right movements and doing a lot of the right things. There's still lots of areas that we can be improving on, and every team has got areas that they can excel at and improve on for sure. And there's definitely some weaknesses to address. However, getting the wins on the board, even when you're not at your absolute best, but I felt early in the game we were intercept marking everything. Got a good rub of the green from the umpires as well. I think it was well umpired. I think there was a couple of holding the balls they missed from our perspective in terms of what should have been going to Richmond, but you make your own luck sometimes. 35 points up probably wasn't an accurate reflection. I'd probably say 8 goals was probably a more overall representative look at things, and the Tigers were efficient when they went inside 50. So definitely some scary moments there, and thankfully we were able to stand up even late when they had 2 or 3 four ace forward in that last sort of minute 45 seconds, and credit to the Cats for hanging on for dear life. So that's kind of a wrap up of how the game sort of panned out and went. Have a look at the stats. So we won the disposal count, won the inside 50 count, which is pretty even Stevens there. Disposal efficiency was very similar as well as the efficiency inside 50. Got a few more free kicks, as we can see, but I feel like when you're in first for the ball, you normally get looked after. That is a fair difference, that's for sure. Doesn't have to be even, just as long as they're there. That's the main thing. Clearances were neck and neck. Centre clearances were able to get the job done there, but the Tigers, after sort of half time, they were really prolific there, and that was our bread and butter early on, but then changed up a little bit. I love this contested ball plus 23. So that's quite a stark difference there. It felt like we did get more of that hard pill, and they definitely put us under a lot of pressure as well. They got a bit more on the outside. High marking game, nearly 200. That might be 204. 204 marks between the sides. It's a good marking game right there. Contested marks. Both teams were pretty good in the air. And both got the same amount of goals. Geelong had more scoring shots though, and 3 points in the end. Lowish tackling game, which is crazy. It felt like there was a lot of tackles going on. Tackles inside 50 pretty similar. Tigers have a bit of a bounce, a lot of 1%ers, and that's all she wrote. I was in the crowd. I was yelling out, "Oh, someone bloody man up, Nang, for goodness sake!" That was a bit frustrating. Where that was probably another feature of the game. Whilst we did get a bit on the scoreboard, there was just times where we looked like we had someone on, and it looked like we had players out, but our kicking inside 50 was probably what let us down, and probably the reason we didn't really get to a representative, margin ahead of the Tigers, where I was mentioning probably that 8-9 goal marks. We're probably that much better in that first half with the looks that we did have. That kick going inside 50, even Mitch Duncan wasn't able to hit a target. It was crazy. So, and then we just kept kicking it to Nank late, and I'm like, this is the 2020 preliminary final all over again, where they just kept bombing it into Nank. The Port Adelaide players late in the game, when they had all the play in the last 5 minutes, we kept kicking it straight down Nank's throat. So didn't lower the eyes properly, and just did exactly what Richmond wanted to do. So that was a bit of a look at the team stats, and the votes were ultra difficult. Very, very tough indeed. But I'll go the 3 to Guthrie. 28 disposals, 5 marks, 6 tackles, 3 clearances. He had some big tackles, some really big plays, and it was just a real tough performance from him. I thought he was enormous watching at the ground there. My 2 votes will go to Tyson Stengel, who was absolutely dynamic once again. I think he's got 2 votes 2 weeks in a row. 3 goals, 18 disposals, 6 marks, got a goal assist in there and a clearance. Just in all those big moments where something needed to happen, he made it happen, and he was instrumental, especially in that final term when we needed someone to be cool, calm, and composed, and he was just that and more. So, yeah, we know what he does really well. I'd say pressure as well. Not too much on the tackles this week, but he's so clean, and he does all the hard stuff really well. And the 1 vote for Tom Atkins. Stuart will be spewing. He gained a lot of territory there. But yeah, I thought Atkins was just dog hungry in the middle. Might be a bit different at the game versus when you see it on the telly. You might see Stuart's marks and go, oh, how good's he? I'll mention him in a moment. But yeah, 21 disposals. Got a few marks in there, a couple of tackles. And yeah, what I love here, 8 clearances, the most of any player. And he was just, it was exiting stoppage really well, coming out of the front of stoppage in those centre clearances, and he just does a lot of the right things. He's really tough, and yeah, love the way he goes about it. So we'll go through the rest of the fellas. Tom Stewart was absolutely largely excellent. He had some moments. 29 disposals, 6 marks. He was winning the ball at will, and yeah, I thought his game was very good. He definitely made some shocking mistakes, and his kicking went a bit off. So that's why I didn't give him a vote. Very close to getting a vote because he was, if you don't have Tom Stewart, I don't think we win. But also Guthrie, Atkins, and Stengel at the coalface and just getting it done when it really mattered was critical. And Stewart obviously took one of the match-saving marks as well. So he's very stiff not to get a vote. I just felt like the other guys' impact was, just excellent. Mitchy Duncan got a fair bit of the footy. He turned it over a little bit, and his kicking probably wasn't his best, but a very, very solid game for Mitch. 25 and 9 marks. Always gains a fair bit of metres there. Stewart almost 800 metres gained. Blitzarves, again, a really good game from him. Don't know about quite achiever, but yeah, he just does his job each week, and he can take those really big contested marks when you need it, and just that release player that can sort of get some play going, kicked a goal, 17. Got a few hit-outs in there as well, some tackles. Smith played a good game. He got 20, kicked a goal, some good run and carry, 8 marks. He loves a mark. Does Isaac. Mentioned obviously Stengel, of course. Jeremy Cameron, really good. He kicked 3 in game 200, 16 disposals, 8 marks. Took a nice contested mark. He's taken the feedback on board, and they threw in the middle late, and I thought he was, again, he's won us that many games. It's not funny. I reckon he's run us about 5 games this year off his own boot. Stengel's probably getting into that category as well. It's just been a real well-rounded player. Menegola was pretty all right. He got 18, 5 marks. Terrible kick in the middle at one stage off a step. I can't remember if it ended up in a goal. It might have, but who knows. But yeah, he'll definitely be better for the run. Usually good kick and sized up Cameron. I think in the second or third, which was really good. Tui, I reckon he got a goal assist in there. He did. Tui kicked a goal, which was very valuable at the time, getting us back to 14 points up, 17 touches, and he was a little bit quiet, but obviously, that goal was golden. Buse had a bit of run and dash off half back. He played all right. So it was a little bit quieter. He definitely crashes packs and got 6 clearances, so he had a good old crack. Henry, one of the match winner, kicking the match winning goal. 2 goals from his 10 touches. Somewhat rusty, but I think, without him, I don't think we win. Grime was good. Had some nice tackles in there. Goal assist and a goal. Turnover that led to a goal. So I liked more of that from Myers, please. Zach Guthrie was pretty handy. Stood up well on some tackles, and as in not getting pinged for holding the ball, and played his role nicely. Close was brilliant yet again. Again, not a lot of ball, but when he does get it, he makes you pay. Kicked a goal with those 12 touches. O'Connor turned the ball over a fair bit as well. He still makes me pretty nervous, but a nice goal assist to Close very late in the piece. DK probably had his colours lowered at times throughout the game on Lynch. I don't know how many Lynch kicked. He might have kicked 2 or 3, but also had some really impactful moments in the last quarter, which helped out a lot. Holmes got a little bit of the ball back in his first game, and he'll be better for the run. Didn't set the world on fire, but hopefully they keep persisting with him because he's going to be a good kid. Cole Jasny should never play ever again. He's so terrible. I'm sick of him turning over. I mean, he's definitely had an improved season, but he's so terrible in the crunching moments. He just turns it. He just gives the ball back to the opposition with just in open arms. Felt like Stanley was super quiet, especially when Nank was just absolute. Maybe he got injured. I'm not too sure. I'm gonna have to check the because I was at the game. I don't get visibility over who's actually injured, so I reckon Stanley must have been injured, but I don't recall seeing Cooper Stevens at all. So let's see what the match report reckons if I can get to that. UI is terrible. Because, I just felt like Nate just had everything go his way. Substitutes, none. So I don't know where Stanley was half the time, but game of the year. And Hawk, I reckon, played one of his worst games of all time. He just could not get in the game. He couldn't move. I think he could definitely do with a rest, maybe against North or something like that. In general, I think he just needs a bit of a freshen up. And, just could not get in the game at all. He's a liability. He's such a confidence player. Sorry, he's a liability when his confidence is down. Like, he doesn't play... Hawks never plays bad games. He just plays absolute shockers, and that was tonight. But didn't bite us in the end. But we do need better output from that. And Cooper Stevens, obviously, sub, but didn't make it out onto the park. Such a stupid rule, has to be said. Having a bit of a look at next week, we've got North Melbourne at home, GMHBA Stadium, Saturday night. I'll get along to that one, being its home game. And, hopefully we get Paddy back in. He was going to be back in this week. He wasn't to be. And, keep ticking along. Hopefully we just get the job done nicely and, nothing too crazy comes out of it because we've got a big game the week after Melbourne Thursday night. It's going to be crazy. That's a bit of a wrap up of the Geelong-Richmond game. Ripping contest, one of the games of the year, as it sort of mentioned, and it's great to be on the right end of the stick on this occasion with getting the job done by 3 points. Takes us to second on the ladder, which is just unbelievable. Right up there with Melbourne, only just on percentage, but we won't. No one else will get anywhere near. Mathematically, cannot happen. So. The Pies might better jump up into the top 8 if they get the job done tomorrow. But as far as top 4 and top 2 for right this second for this round, the Cats are there and best form in the competition over the last 5 weeks. So there you go. Good to see. Well, there you go, guys. That's a wrap up of the review. Hope you enjoyed it as much as I enjoyed going to the game and aging another 10 years from a Cats close affair. Appreciate you guys joining in on the journey. Don't forget to subscribe, like the video, all that good stuff. Appreciate y'all joining in. And with all of that, thanks for watching once again, guys. I'll see you on the next video.